Mate, how good is ripping on Santos for paying no Aussie tax? You've probably seen stuff just like this on the news, on Twitter, wherever. On 5.8 billion of income, they paid 15 million of tax. Okay, first problem is that's 5.8 billion of revenue before deductions. So to assess if you want to be upset about this or not, you've got to go, well, how much money in profit did they make that year? Because of all the controversy about Santos and their tax, no doubt, they've decided to participate in the tax transparency stuff. It's all kind of lumped together here, but we'll dissect it all later. Basically, $2.948 billion of profit between Australia, Timor-Leste, and Papua New Guinea. And here's the summary of taxes that were paid across those jurisdictions in US dollars. And you can see here, no corporate income tax in Australia. There were some other taxes paid though, but there was a crap load paid in Papua New Guinea because PNG, Timor-Leste and Australia signed treaties, which means that those countries can now tax those oil and gas gains in that country. It is a bit cheeky to be putting employment taxes here though, because they aren't paying them, the employees are paying them. So taking out the employee taxes, because that's nonsense, that's 1.202 billion in taxes paid across royalties, excise, corporate income tax across those three jurisdictions. And here's that income again, 2.948. Let's do some quick math. Put in the arithmetic up here. That's about a 40% tax rate they're paying on their profits. Doesn't matter what regime captures it, it's still tax. Who cares if you're paying income tax or GST? If you pay the same amount at the end of the day, it's still out of the pocket. In fact, Santos was actually profitable in Australia that year, $847 million of profit. Had a whole bunch of carry forward losses and offsets that it could use to reduce that to zero. You got to remember that the losses that they're getting on this, that's from money they already spent and lost. It's already gone, and they're getting a tax benefit of 30 cents in the dollar. Just like me and you, we only pay tax on our taxable income, not our revenue, not our assessable income. We get to claim deductions, and one of them is losses, just like losses on a rental property. Now, if you've made it this far and your head hasn't exploded because the Australian news has gotten to you so much to hate Santos, the problem isn't Santos. The problem isn't any of these companies. The problem is the income tax law is dog shit. And all of our politicians for the last 25 years have been too afraid to make any changes about it. Tax reform upsets everybody across the political spectrum, whether it's talking about negative gearing or taxing big companies more. You're going to upset lots and lots of people. It's very likely that you'll just upset everybody and burn a lot of your political capital. And none of those politicians have enough political capital to pull off any level of relevant tax reform in this country. So please stop hating on individual companies and just hate on the government for doing a shit job.